Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing I forgot to mention this in my video, this has taken so long to get to me, at least 2 weeks, like probably longer to be honest with you. The Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette, and I'm also trying out I can't find it, Westman Atelier new concealer. And this is called the Vital Skincare Concealer. So if you want to see how I like these products and how they're wearing, then just keep watching. Hello, I'm back. So I'm going to start with, I put my foundation on already. I'm just using the Revlon Color Stay mixed with my Forever Glow Star Filter. And that's all I've done so far. And then obviously primed and put my skincare on. Cali Ray So Blown Primer is what just fell on the floor. I primed one eye just with my MAC paint pot in soft ochre, and it's because I'm going to use something else on this eye. So I'm going to do 2 eye looks. Don't really want to because I'm preparing to go to my friend's birthday party, but I guess whatever, I'll just wash it off and change it later on. But I did a look that I really liked yesterday, so I'm going to do that on this eye, and then I'll do something else on this one. I do not have concealer on yet because we're trying. This is a pretty penny, okay? I'm going to tell you right now. The Westman Atelier Vital Skincare Concealer, and I have the shade Atelier L2. So yeah, it's tiny. It has 0.20 fluid ounces, which is 6 milliliters. So just for comparison, let's take the Huda, and it's annoying packaging, but anyways, this is 9 milliliters, so quite a bit cheaper and definitely way more product. But yeah, I think my creaseless creamy concealer doesn't have a ton in that either. I never even mentioned it in my last video. It is 0.22, it's hard to read this writing, 0.225 ounces, 6.4 grams. So similar, but also much cheaper. So we're gonna go in first with this. I'm gonna read a little bit about it. I'm not gonna be talking a ton about like the details of the eyeshadow. I know there's different formulations like the sparkling foiled, the creamy matte, etc., but I'll let Natasha tell you about all that. I just want to use it and show you what it's like. Also, I hate that the color does this. I like this shade much better, but then when I take it away, I look green or something. Anyway, okay, so it is a natural finish concealer. It has a medium coverage. So the call outs are gentian, I think. Did I screw that up? I think it says gentian root, coffee leaf extract. Don't kill me if I said that wrong. I don't know. Licorice root, and that helps to visibly brighten dark circles and hyperpigmentation. It helps to lift and firm the look of the eye contour. It also has mini hyaluronic acid, which has a low molecular weight for optimal absorption. It helps to hydrate, firm, and smooth the look of the under eye. And peptides help support natural collagen and soften the look of crepiness, fine lines, and crow's feet. I think that's what we all want. Am I right? So let's go in with, I have to say though, their packaging does it every time. Like, this is so heavy. So obviously a lot of the cost goes towards the packaging. It's very pretty. So I have, like I said, L2 is the shade. I kind of was regretting it. I was like, why didn't I get L1? But I actually think this one works. So this is what the doe foot looks like. And I really don't think you need a lot of product. I'm going to use just a little bit, but a little bit goes a long way. I mean, maybe that's a lot, actually. And I'm going to go in with, I never used this in my last video. I wanted to use it. This is the Sephora Collection 02 Concealer Brush. I tried this morning already and washed it off because I had to take a shower. but I was just curious how it looked. And I used this brush too. So yeah, I think the color is okay. I think if I would have gotten like one shade lighter, so I have the second lightest shade, I think if I had gone the lightest shade, it might have been just a little bit too light. And sometimes when you go too light, it almost gives like a gray cast under the eye, so I don't want that. But I do like this brush. I normally don't use a brush. As you know, if you've seen any of my videos, normally I'm using a sponge. So I could get like right in all the crevices. Might put just a touch more. Like when I'm looking head on, it looks good. It's just that tiny little bit in the corner. And I normally use a color corrector, and I'm not using one today. So I just wanted to show you what it looks like on its own. So maybe just a pinch more. Right in the crevice here. And I feel like that's good. And I was going to, this morning when I tried it, not set it, because I watched the one who convinced me to get this, Martina Lily, used it with powder and without on one side, and she actually said she liked the look of the one without. I just can't do it. I tried. I was going to do it, and then I'm like, no, I need to set it. I just don't like that feeling of tackiness under my eye. So it's like I want to try it, but also I have a party to go to, and I just don't want like eyeshadow under my eye and stuff. So yeah, but I'll show you what it looks like once I set it. I have some thoughts already. And spoiler, they're good. Like the first time, this morning, when I applied it, I was like, that's a smooth under eye. Because I'm in the sunlight right now. This is natural light that I work with. And usually I could see like that crepiness. Even with my most smoothing concealers. And with this one, It's nice. So Martina, thank you, but also not thank you because I spent more money. This is weird. I feel like it kind of doesn't fully twist. Like I can still feel that it's, I don't know. That's the only thing I've noticed so far. If anything negative besides the price point, that's it. So I'm going to set it with my Pat McGrath. I mean, that looks so good. I'm not trying to convince you to spend money, but if you struggle with crepey looking under eyes and you want something that's just going to be hydrating but still cover, like it just feels so smooth. It's good. It's really good. obviously haven't tried it throughout the entire day, so once I try it all day, I'll let you know, because sometimes concealers can get weird throughout the day. They could get crepey throughout the day. They might look good as soon as you put it on, and then later on, it's like, no. So I'll let you know how it wears. I'll put that in my description box, but right now, it's good. It's good. I'm going to grab my powder. So I'm just gonna use the Rare Beauty, I think. Normally I would use my NARS, but I really like the way this one's looking. The only thing is that I get obviously a little bit oilier when I use this one compared to the NARS, because the NARS is pretty mattifying. But like, look how smooth that is. And this is my more textured cheek. I think it's textured because I had acne when I was younger. So I think that's why this one acts up sometimes. And all my acne, for some reason, was just on my cheeks. Like, it was so bad just on my cheeks. And then I kind of had an issue with like little bumps on my forehead, but it wasn't acne. I guess maybe that's a form of acne, but they were just tiny little like clear bumps. What is that? I think I might have, what's it called? Perioral dermatitis. Let me know if this is what this is. I get these teeny tiny little bumpies around here. Again, it's not like a zit, but it looks similar to a zit, but they're teeny tiny. Tell me, is that what that is? If you have it, let me know. So I'm pretty excited. I mean, I'm not excited because I am not a super social person. I prefer to like hang out with my friends one-on-one and go out for dinner rather than be at a party, because I'm just like socially awkward. Plus I'm a germaphobe. So I'm like, I don't want to get COVID. I don't want to get sick. So that's my problem. Oh, I'm gonna use a different bronzer. I was gonna use this because I use this like literally every day. But we're gonna use something else. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so for fun, let's use two bronzers. Why not? We'll use the Sephora bronzer. This is the matte bronzer in the shade 00 Sun-Kissed Haze. Very pretty, nice and matte. Again, it does have a strong scent to it, so if you're not into that, probably will not like this bronzer. So anyways, yeah, going to my friend's 40th birthday party. Normally I skip these things because, like I said, I'm antisocial and I kind of get anxiety when it comes to like parties and going to people's houses, and I'm more just like, let's go to a restaurant, let's just, I don't know. Not that it's any better at a restaurant because you're around a billion people at a restaurant too, but I don't know. I'm a worrywart and I need to stop being like this because my friends will be like, okay, bye, if I keep not going to things, you know? But also I'm 40 and I'm lazy and I like being at home. I'm just a homebody. I can't help it. I feel like I've always kind of been this way. I mean, when I was in my 20s, obviously I would go to the bar and stuff quite a bit. But I was a lot more social when I was in my 20s. I feel like COVID kind of just made me a hermit. I haven't used this bronzer in a long time. It's because I have my bronzers in a drawer and I kind of like forget what I even have in there, which is bad because I need to use them. But anyway, I'm excited to celebrate because I was talking about this in my last video. I was talking about health issues and I didn't want to bring it up yet because I didn't know what it was. And now that I have an answer, I can actually talk about it. Luckily, it's nothing serious. But I found an extremely large lump in my boob, which was of course super concerning because obviously the first thing that goes to your mind is breast cancer. And not only that, but do you ever feel like when you're going through something like a health issue, a health scare, it's never come up more? Like, you see commercials for it, you hear about it more on the radio, it's like all up in your face, and you're just like, oh my goodness, I can't even right now with this. Like, obviously breast cancer month is in October, and so you hear about it constantly, especially in, you know, mid-September, the end of September. And so I was freaking out, and I was able somehow to get into, so apparently I had an appointment, but they didn't call me to tell me that I had an appointment. So I called them to be like, hey, my doctor sent in a request. I guess she put urgent because, like, we don't have a family history of breast cancer per se, but we do have a gene which is more for like colon cancer and uterine, but still, anytime you have any kind of issue, they try to get you in faster because you have an increased risk. So maybe I'll go in with a little bit of RMS bronzer. This is tan lines, just on the forehead. So she put urgent, and which freaked me out because I had told her that I had like mini cysts in my other boob before, like a long time ago, but I hadn't felt anything since. And it just felt different. Like the ones on the other side were very small, and I don't know, just didn't feel the same. This one, literally, I'm not kidding, it's like this big. It feels like maybe a little bit bigger than the size of a mini egg. And so I was feeling it, and obviously when you feel it, you're starting to Google literally everything ever. I bought a new blush, so I was talking about this one in my last video too, which is the Emi Collet Desert Date Cream Multi-Stick. This is so beautiful. I think this would go so well with this palette, but I don't really feel like using it today. I want to use just more of like a bronzy color, so I'm going to use this in another video. Maybe like a fall get ready with me or something. Anyway, unimportant to my story. So yeah, it felt big. And when I would Google stuff, don't Google anything until you talk to a doctor. But when I was Googling stuff, it said that moving around was like a good sign if it's not stationary. If it's like kind of feeling like you're touching it and it's like bing, 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 like it would feel like it was moving all over the place. They said that that is a good sign, like a better sign than if it were not moving, obviously. I forgot what blush I wanted to use. I want to use this. Oh yeah, I'll probably use this. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with MAC True Harmony. This is the Glow Play blush, and just a Real Techniques brush. So that was basically my only hope, was that it was moving around and that it felt round. And a lot of times if it is malignant or cancerous, then it has sharp edges, like not smooth edges, like a round circle. So anyways, I called them and they're like, oh yeah, you do have an appointment. It's October 7th. And I'm like, literally, I cannot wait. This will be tearing me up. Like, I couldn't even concentrate on work. It's so hard to concentrate when you are going through something, when you have no idea what it is. You just want answers immediately. And just out of curiosity, I don't know why I even said it, but I was like, do you happen to have any cancellations? Like, I know probably not. You probably have a way larger list of people, but if you do, can you let me know? And she's like, oh, actually we do. And she said it right away. She's like, yeah, you can come in September, Friday the 13th. And I'm like, Friday the 13th? That's already like, oh, scary. So I'm gonna use this now. This is the Lise Watier blush in the shade Terre de Soleil, and this is still available. Ooh. It's basically almost the identical color, but powder version. The MAC one is more like a cream to powder. Like, it doesn't feel tacky on the skin, but it's definitely like that bouncy kind of gelée type feel. So anyway, I'm like, yes, please get me in September 13th. Like, I will take it, because this was last week that I called. Like, it all happened very fast. Because when I did my last video, I didn't even have an appointment yet that I knew of. And so I get there, my appointment's for 9:20, and it's packed in there, and I'm just freaking out. Like, I just have to sit there and wait and wait and wait, and I was just losing my mind waiting and freaking out. It's like the more you wait, the more freaked out you're getting. And so I think I got in at like 9:40 or something. And then you're sitting there in a robe and just waiting. And then finally I get in. They do like a little like manual exam just to see where it is. They put a little spot there so they know. And I'm just using the Dior highlight in nude. And so then I go get a mammogram. So it was a, what's it called? It's not a normal mammogram. It's a diagnostic mammogram. And so that's what I had. And I'm like, can you, like, I was a little bit worried because from what I've read, obviously Googling everything, I'm like, can you tell like the difference between a cyst or if you actually have, you know, something that's malignant? Can you tell the difference on the mammogram? Because everything I was reading was saying that a mammogram is not as accurate as an ultrasound. And so like in my mind, I was kind of hoping to have an ultrasound so that I would have a definite answer, but also if they could see it in a mammogram, then I would be like, okay, great. Like, you know, for sure that it's a cyst or it's a fibroadenoma. Like, there were so many things that I was looking up that I had no idea about. I mean, obviously I knew about cysts, but fibroadenoma, I didn't know. This was a new thing to me that I had read. And so yeah, I guess let's do contour. So then I get in, they do the mammogram, and then you just sit there and wait in a room. Like, you're wearing just like a little, I mean, you can wear your pants obviously, but you're wearing just like a little thing that like does up in the front so you can just like whip it open. And so you're just waiting. And basically, if they look at the mammogram, they're like, it's good to go, then you can just go home. And they're like, it's clear. If they don't see anything, then you're good to go. They tell you to pack it up, see you later. So they come up to me and they're like, I think I was waiting like 15 minutes or something in between the mammogram and the ultrasound. And so I'm texting my mom and I'm like, Mom, I'm shaking, like I feel sick. I'm so nervous. And then she of course comes up and says, Rachel, yeah, we're gonna do we're gonna do an ultrasound just to double check what's going on. So then obviously the time to get in, you're just the worst. You're just thinking the worst. You're like, okay, well that means they do see something that they can't really distinguish. So now we need to actually figure out what it is. And then the bad thing is they don't do a biopsy there. If they need to do a biopsy, if they see something suspicious on the ultrasound, then they send you to a different clinic another day. So then you're waiting even longer and thinking the worst, obviously. So I knew that if it was possibly a fibroadenoma, which I believe is like tissue and cells, but they're most of the time benign, then they would probably have to send me to go get tested. And I'm just like praying to God, like, please God, let me just find out today what it is. Please just let it be a cyst. Like, I don't want it to be a fibroadenoma. Fibroadenoma is still a tumor, but it's a benign tumor. So like, obviously it's better. and they don't really know why you get them. I think they can just come up like within a certain age range. I think like 35 to 50 or something, which I am in that range. And what was freaking me out is it said when it's a cyst, normally it hurts and it's going to be more squishy, not as firm, and mine felt pretty firm, and so the firmness thing was really getting to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, this is worrying me. Like it felt basically what they describe a fibroadenoma is what it felt like. It felt like a round like rubber ball, but it was hard, and so that was freaking me out. And so went in for the ultrasound. The guy was super nice. I mean, I was like, oh man, why do I have a guy? But whatever, he's just doing his job. He was very professional. There was a girl there too, a nurse, so it was fine. And I didn't really care. I'm just like, give me the news, doc. And when he's putting the thing on my boob, I kind of like peeked over to look at the screen, and I could see that it was like a black circle, and I'm like, oh my god, is black good or bad, or is white good or bad? And he's just like, yep, nothing to worry about, it's just a cyst. He's like, I can tell. So obviously I googled it, and black is cyst, like it's fluid. So thank god everything is good, but holy crap, that is so stressful. But this is just a reminder. I guess I hadn't done it in a really long time because I just don't even think about it, but do self-exams, please. If you don't do them, start doing them, because obviously it's so important. And I don't know how I didn't notice it. Like, I don't know how I didn't notice that it even got that big. And also pay attention to your menstrual cycles, because apparently if you are during a cycle, which is when I found it, or up to 1 to 2 weeks after the cycle has finished, usually that's when it'll go down, like 2 weeks after, and I'm just 1 week now. So that I'm just so grateful to God. I can't even tell you how many times I got on my knees and I was praying, and I'm just thank you, Jesus. But that was extremely stressful, the waiting and talking to my friends, and they're just like, oh my god, that's so scary. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But my one friend is so cute and so sweet, and she sent me flowers last week to work because she knew, like, I just could not think of anything else besides, sorry, my one nail is just driving me crazy. I clearly have ADD because I'm just all over the place. It's driving me crazy. Okay, so we're gonna go in with the eyeshadow. But yeah, I'm so glad that he was able to give me the answer, like a definite answer yesterday, that I didn't have to go all weekend being worried, and I didn't have to make another appointment, and that it's a cyst. So the hard thing with having, I had been told long ago that I have fibrocystic breast disease. That's not really a disease, but like you're just more prone to cysts in your boobs, I guess. Yeah. But I hadn't had one in so long that I know of, that I just didn't even think about it. It's like I kind of forgot that I even had it. And so I was talking to my aunt, and she has the same thing. So I'm gonna go in with the palette now. And she was like, oh yeah, sorry, I'm not gonna go in with the palette yet. I'm gonna go in with this. This is the Merit eyeshadow in Mid-Century. I'm gonna use I'll find a different kind of brush here. But yeah, my aunt was like, oh yeah, I've had the same thing, and it was a cyst, and she's like, it moved all over the place, but hers hurt and mine didn't hurt. Like, it was a little bit tender, but it didn't really hurt. And so that's why I was thinking I had the fibroadenoma, or worse, obviously. But yeah. Oh, and then I was reading that if you have breast cancer in the early stages, sometimes it will be more mobile. And so I was like, oh my god, this could be what it is, because it was moving around, but it was more firm. The only thing that made me less scared is that it felt round and it didn't feel like a weird shape or anything, or jaggedy, or anyways, all this to say, just be careful, make sure you're checking yourself, just be aware of your body, and if something feels weird and you want to talk to a doctor, like, make sure they look into it. My doctor is very, very good for that. My old doctor used to be like, it's fine, you're good, you're young, and it's like, young people can still get sick. Like, what the hell are you talking about? So let's go in with Ripe for now. We'll go in with Ripe and we'll just put that in the crease. So like I said, I'm going to do 2 different eye looks and then I'll decide which one I want to do tonight. But yeah, holy moly. Oh, my parents and everyone. We've just had, like, honestly, that was kind of a good ending to, well, not kind of, it was a good ending to kind of like a very crazy few months, you know. First it was the dog, then it was my, I'm gonna go in now with Fervor also into the crease. My husband's grandma obviously passed away. My grandma wasn't doing great. She is actually on the up and up now, thank goodness. But you know, she's 91, so any little thing could be a big thing, right? And what else? There's just been a lot. We're like, we need a vacation. We need to get out of here, go somewhere, and just chill. Like, even my friend at work was like, you guys are going through it, huh? I'm like, yes, we are. I'm gonna go over this eyeshadow with Flash Over, which I believe is a creamy matte. Let's take a look. So I know there are newer shades in here too. Oh, SC. What is SC? What is SC? Oh, is it... Is it cream to powder? I don't know. It feels like a cream to powder anyway. It's a very nice, like, deeper kind of reddish shade. I know some people get worried about these types of shades, like making them look sick. I think as long as you can ground it with something else, then you're good. Like, normally if I use like a dark brown liner or a different kind of liner, then it kind of helps it, you know, transition a little bit better and takes that kind of sick look away. Okay, so now we're gonna go over this with a sparkle. Like, right now it's kind of boring, right? But I think it's pretty. So I used yesterday, oh, I can't even remember. I think I used Fancy and Homey. So this is Fancy. So what is Fancy? Metallic. And then what is Homey? Homey's gotta be like a sparkling foiled. MG? Is that new? I don't know what MG is. I'm sorry. I should have been more prepared. Ooh. Okay. So this is Fancy. And then we're gonna go over it with Homey, and I'm just using my fingers because I feel like these types of shades go on so nicely with a finger. Fun. So then yesterday, I feel like this is just a little bit too dark for my inner corner, mellow. So it's just like a tiny bit too dark. So I think I'm gonna use the Mario palette, the neutrals, or whichever one you have, or literally any palette. And I'm just gonna use the lightest shade, the lightest 2 shades of these 2. I'm just going my inner corner with that. And so far, the concealer, so good. I can usually tell right away how I'm gonna feel about them. Like I said, it does take time. Sometimes you want to just double check how it wears, obviously. But so far, so good. I'm gonna go in with Ash by Victoria Beckham. This would actually look so good with cinnamon too. Cinnamon would be a little bit too light with this eye look, but if you do like a matte one, I feel like it would look really good. And of course, I'm starving now. Why do I do this? I always do a video when I need to eat lunch. So that's Ash, and it does look a little bit like too gray right now, but I'm gonna mix it in with a brown. So my brother's coming to town pretty soon, so that's nice. He was just here for my wedding, but he's coming back for work. I wish my nephew was coming, but he's not. He's so cutie. He is hilarious. He's so funny. Like, he calls my parents Meme and Pepe. Like Mehmed and Pepe, French. And now I'm gonna go in with this one here, which is called Pep. Maybe I'll mix a little Vim. So these are both matte shades. And I'm just gonna go over that eyeliner just to kind of make it a little more browny tone. Yes, I could have used a brown eyeliner, but I want it to be a little bit deeper and darker. Anyways, he's so funny. We will like FaceTime with him, and if my parents are there and he excuse me, he can hear my dad talking in the background, he'll be like, "Where Pepe? Where Pepe?" And we're like, "Hello, what about us? We're right here, talk to us. Where Pepe? Where Pepe?" Like, hello, what about Auntie? Right in front of you. It's like, I don't care. You're boring. Okay, so then I did this, and then I just did this in my waterline, and that's all I did yesterday and loved it. Just thought it was very pretty. And we will curl the lashes. I'm not gonna put mascara on because, like I said, I'm gonna do the two looks and then just decide which one I prefer for tonight. But I'm gonna have a drink to celebrate tonight. I don't really drink a lot, so probably literally have two and be like, woo! And obviously, you know, after a health scare, you want to like even more so take care of your health. So, you know. Okay, so we're going to go in with, I think, Soft Spot, which is this one here, which I think looks very pretty. And this one will probably be more a matte look. I'm not into this Phenomena. This is the duochrome. Everyone's like, ooh, whoa. I'm like, I don't want like this green look on my eyes. I think it looks good on other people, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. It's just not for me. I just don't really like either of the shades that it is. So I probably won't be using that one that much, but that's just me. But anyway, yeah, that kind of just makes you want to eat healthier, makes you want to, I mean, we work out like at least probably like 4 to 5 times a week. And when I'm not doing something, I'll still try to go on like the stepper or go for a walk or something, just to kind of get some activity in. Okay. Let's go in with maybe a little Fervor, and then maybe we'll do a little bit of Vim. I still don't think this palette is going to beat the Golden palette for me. There's something, I love those like mustardy type tones, and that just does it for me. Like, I used that palette for my wedding. And I don't know, I just really, I'm into it. So I'll go in with that shade that I was saying might be a little bit too dark for my inner corner, but I'll put it on my lid just to show you what it looks like. So that is Mellow. That's this one here. Magdalene Janet did the most beautiful eye looks with this palette. So if you wanted to see more, go check out her channel. Okay, and then we'll go in with Vim, same brush. Always just kind of flick it off a little bit there. And just deepen it even more. And I think we'll go in with a brown liner for the side. Yeah, I still think, I don't know, the golden for me has just like a leg up. I really like these warm shades, and I think I think they're very pretty. I don't know what's going on with my throat, but I don't know, there's just something about the golden that's got me. Going in with Whiskey. You know, the usual. Ash and Whiskey are like my go-tos. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with the Hourglass liner in the shade Cave. And then we will go in with the liner. So let's go in with, ooh, this is actually a very pretty shade too, this Hanker shade. I don't like the name. Hanker reminds me of like a canker sore. It's very pretty. Nice bronze. It looks much darker in the pan. But yeah, that's very, very nice. Maybe I should use that shade. And then Dynamism is very pretty. You put those two together, that'd make a beautiful bronze. Yeah, very pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in with, maybe I'll do Flash Over and Prep on the eyeliner. Which one do you like better? I don't know. I'm mostly a matte girl, so I tend to go for like these types of looks over anything else. Oh yeah, like I said, my brother's coming here, and he'll be here for my parents' 50th wedding anniversary. So it'll be nice. And then, but my nephew's not coming because my brother's coming for a work conference, so it's kind of like he's gonna be busy with work the entire time anyways. And I think my sister-in-law is potty training my nephew, so she kind of just wants to be home for that, which makes sense. Okay, so we have these two. Ooh, I kind of like this one. Okay, and then I'm gonna go under the eye with a pencil brush, if I can find it. Of course I can't find it. Oh, I found it. Okay, so we'll go in, I think, with Vim and Fervor. So here and here, and we'll go under the eye with those two shades. I'm in this beauty chat group on Facebook, and someone was asking, like, what are your favorite fall eyeshadow palettes? And I feel like these ones by Natasha Denona are just like a hit for fall especially. I feel like this one, the Golden palette, and Yucca are all really, really good options. I have something in my eye. Probably a piece of eyeshadow. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with a liner. If you saw me just go in my actual eyeball, I was trying to get whatever was in my eye. So I'm sorry if that grossed you out. My friend whose party is tonight, she can't stand when people touch their eyes. She gets very grossed out by it. Ew, what is that? Ew, did that just come off my, ew. I'm sorry you saw that. It's a dirty little chunk of mascara that came off of my curler, so I definitely need to clean that. So yeah, these are the two looks. Obviously similar in tone. You're not going to get much difference in tone, but you could get different, you know, finishes and everything. I don't know which one I want to do. Like this one is more, not out of my comfort zone, but it's more like fancy because it has the sparkle in it. And this one is more my everyday. I don't know. Maybe I will do this one because I'm boring like that. But I did wear this yesterday and I really liked it. I just did this with mascara and that was it. Obviously you could put some underneath the eye too, but I just left it bare under the eye. So I'm going to come back. I'm going to do this eye to match this eye and I'll be back. Okay, eyes done, brows done. Let's go in with a lippy here. You know the deal. I'm probably gonna use, oh my god, sorry. Maybe I'll use this one instead. Not that one. I don't know, do I want to use this or this? Probably this actually. So Stone. I'll probably use my Mob lipstick again, since I haven't used it a billion times on my channel. Okay. And again, this is the shade M154B. And maybe I want just a touch of my MAC. Flesh Pot. I hope this is still available. This is the bring back shade they brought back, but then sold out immediately. It's like, just bring it back for good, people. Like, clearly people want it. But yeah, I've had zero issues with the performance of the shadow. I mean, I only used it yesterday and today, but like everything went on super smooth. Haven't used every color, but for the most part, they've all been really good. Ooh. Just I just drop everything. This is just my life. So yes, would I recommend? Yes, but I feel like if you have the Patrick Ta Major Dimension 1 or 3, I feel like you don't really need it. One great person to check out would be Rebecca, Not Fit for Print Beauty. If you go to her Instagram, she does literally any comparison you ask her for, she will do on her Instagram. It's amazing. So I asked her to compare this to the Major Dimension 3, and she compared it to 1. Because with 3, I'm gonna grab it here. You have the shades at the bottom, which are, sorry, at the top, which are the warmer shades. And I feel like they could definitely be comparable. But if you want to see the swatches, she did the swatches. So like all these ones on top. I love that palette. But if you have it, like, I think the only reason you'd want to get this one would be for the sparkly shades, because I feel like these matte shades exist already in, oh my god, why can't I do this? A ton of different palettes. But you know what I mean? But this is just like a matte lover's dream. Yeah, so if you wanted basically that, but with a lot of sparkle in it, then I feel like that would be great for you. But there have been so many similar palettes that have come out. Again, check out Rebecca's Instagram because she does compare so many different palettes to that, but I really like it. I do like a warm eye every now and then, especially for fall and winter. I think it looks really nice. And I feel like it kind of brings out, if you have a brown eye, it kind of brings out the red in your eye, not like in a demon way, but like in a nice kind of like warm, I don't know, like sultry way, I guess. And the concealer so far, so good. It's looking really, really nice and smooth, and it doesn't feel tacky or anything. Obviously I set it down, but it feels really, really good. So these are wins. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And I think next video I'm gonna be doing the fall haul, because I bought a bunch of stuff that I wanted to show you that I think are cute. So I'll probably be doing that in my next video. And if you have any suggestions or something you'd want to see, then just let me know. Thank you so much, and I love ya. Bye. Oops.